Hello everybody, my name's Nick. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and just talk candidly about my experiences with the Pleiadians. I'm 28 years old now, and I'll give you a brief history of my life experiences with extraterrestrial forces. Although I, in my past, put them off as dreams or figments of my imagination. Looking back at this point in my life, I see what had been going on. I was about 13 years old, and I had a malevolent, not so friendly force outside my window. And I always remembered that and kind of chalked it up to a dream, but I definitely don't think they were there for good reason. I spent most of my life drinking a lot of alcohol, and I'm lucky I didn't die from it by the grace of the Creator. I was about 24 years old, and I was drinking a lot, but I started waking up in the middle of the night and writing down binary code as if I was downloading some sort of information, and I wish I still had that binary code, but I threw it away. And then I guess it was in 2011, 11/11. My life changed, and it was a few months after that I started to be flooded with information. It felt like there was an energy flooding into my brain, and I didn't really know what to make of it. And I did stumble across the Pleiadian network, and I really enjoyed their channelings, and I found them to be inspiring and enlightening, but I kind of let it go, and I moved on with life, and it wasn't until June of this year that things definitely changed. I was contacted, I would say more like commandeered telepathically, by Pleiadian forces of light. They took over my old programming. This took about a month and a half of training. My body allowed them to do this, as I could see why and what was going on, at least. So after about 2 months of intensive training and listening and following directions, I returned here to my parents' house, which is why I'm in the garage right now, because if I was doing this inside, they would probably call a psychiatric ward on me. But, I see a lot of channelings and messages and things like this, and I just wanted to talk candidly for a minute. And I guess my experiences here, starting beginning to mid-September, I was part of a team that was to bring down the old grid, the old consciousness, and network a new grid of higher consciousness. This was a lot of work. It was like a mental war, a spiritual war. It was pretty intense. It was like nothing I'd ever been a part of before, and frankly nothing that I ever really believed was possible before. But I did my part, and I think I see a few things out here about the event, and I don't see anything about this particular event, and I haven't heard anybody else discuss it. But I know that there were others working with me. I've just never met another starseed in my life. So basically we ripped the old grid off the Earth, and we networked across the planet, and created a new dominant consciousness. As far as I can tell, the old consciousness is no longer even functional. It's simply running off of a basis of single nodes of programming reinforcing each other. So, here I am. I think that there's going to be more events in the physical plane that will help bring humanity into a different place. But it's difficult to know what these events will be and how they will unfold. As you know, the Pleiadians work with light. This doesn't mean that they work with money or that anything like that. for me, I've been unemployed for about 4 months, and I don't know when Earth changes will happen on the physical plane. It could be any day. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. And how quickly they progress and start to influence our individual lives, only time will tell. So, I guess I want to say that if you're unhappy, or if you're struggling to make ends meet, go and make some money. Do what you need to do to live in the earth plane at this time. And we'll always, as far as I can tell, be inside these physical bodies. We're not going to another frequency where we suddenly become light-based. However, the frequency of our consciousness is, if you're watching this, I assume, and for the planet will be higher. But I hope that people aren't sitting around waiting on some great change to happen to pull them out of a slump or to pull them out of a position that they're not happy in. I mean, of course it's important to do your spiritual practices every day, and, obviously we don't have much control over what happens in our dreams. At least I don't. I know a lot of people have more. I know what happens in my dreams, but I'm aware of what happens in my dreams, but I'm not conscious. I know that I'm there training people how to help remove the evil forces out of the dark forces, the different forces out of a different plane, different dimension. This is what I do every night. And I'm sure that everybody does something, and eventually we all have to find our role on the earth as well. What is our purpose in the physical plane? And for some of us that may be to meditate, and some of us it may be to be a teacher for children or to care for the elderly, or the world needs all sorts of people to make it run, and it doesn't matter where you're doing it from. That light still keeps emitting right from you. For me, I want to help other people that suffer from bad programming. They're still addicted and still alcoholics. And I want to help them move on through that, and that's my purpose. And it may take money to create my dream, but I know that as long as I'm working towards that the universe is going to provide for me, and I know that it will provide for all of you all as well. If there's a dream that you want, just go out and do it, and achieve your dreams. I guess we're already living in it, huh? But anyway, I love you all, and I hope that one day we meet, but I'm not waiting on I am waiting on a Pleiadian craft to come and land on the earth, but I don't think they're going to put a placard over my head that says, light worker or something like that, so that all my friends and family know. So, life will get better in the end, but I hope that if you're not happy now, that you do what you need to do to take care of yourself, and be happy, live life, love Creator, appreciate the Pleiadians. Can't ever say it right. Anyway, well, adios. This was my first time. Maybe one day I'll get on here, and I hold a telepathic channel, but I don't have the technology to I'd have to write it all down or say it all slow. So I just thought I'd say hello to everybody, and namaste.